TTI, custom Benelli. This will take a bear's head off. Oh my.
Johnson, this is the eye.
See the bells ring out as will be cast out.
Or you.
Theater. That it was my choice. I'm not.
Don't have to do this. Leave. Leave. Go.
My father. Rules.
I recommend we read.
Attention.
Orders. You find.
well placed. Not evil. You kill you and your daughter die together. What?
Bullet. To become and think like him, we will be using simulators. That we believe that strength has any smaller and at a disadvantage. You want to win? Improvise. Not his.
You are.
Hey, what the hell is going on up there?
It's okay. How many left?
2.
Engage full prot.
Geht hinein, Kinder. alert the Chancellor.
Save your breath.
Right here.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the sleek, brutal world of Ballerina, the John Wick spin-off that reminds us revenge is a dish best served with pirouettes and a lot of lead. We meet Rooney, our titular ballerina, not in a glamorous opera house, but in a grimy, almost suffocating ballet studio. From her earliest days, she's subjected to an intense, almost militaristic training regimen. Forget plies. This is more like Painley for our protagonist. Every graceful movement, every precise step, it's all honed under the watchful and forgiving eye of her stern instructor. It's clear from the outset that this isn't just about artistry. It's about control, discipline, and a quiet, simmering rage beneath the elegant facade. This is a passion project for me, and a like or a subscribe is the best way to show your support. So if you're on board, join the crew. If not, thanks for watching anyway. Fast forward a few years, and we see a brief, heartbreaking glimpse of Rooney's seemingly normal life with her family. There's warmth, there's laughter, the kind of domestic bliss you only see in movies right before everything goes horribly, catastrophically wrong. And boy, does it go wrong. Out of nowhere, a squad of heavily armed, utterly brutal assassins breaches their home. The air is immediately filled with the sharp crack of gunfire, the frantic cries of her family, and the splintering sound of furniture being ripped apart. It's a sudden, visceral explosion of violence that leaves Rooney hidden away, witnessing the horrific execution of everyone she loves. The deafening silence that follows the gunshots is almost more chilling than the chaos itself, leaving a deep, gaping wound and planting the seed of an insatiable desire for vengeance. The sheer brutality of this moment sets the stage for everything that follows, hardening her resolve. Years pass, and the quiet girl has become a lethal weapon. We find Rooney no longer just a dancer, but a ghost gliding through high society. Her first major move sees her infiltrating a ridiculously opulent gala, the kind where everyone's net worth probably weighs more than a small car. She's draped in an elegant gown, blending seamlessly with the ridiculously rich and vaguely villainous elite. But don't let the pretty dress fool you. Her eyes aren't admiring the chandeliers. They're scanning, calculating, hunting. Her targets, a group of shadowy figures linked to her family's murder, are mingling, oblivious to the predator in their midst. The clinking of champagne glasses and the low hum of conversation provide a stark, almost ironic backdrop to her simmering intent. It's a masterclass in silent observation, the calm before the storm. You just know something's about to go down in this fancy shindig, and it won't be a dance-off. And just like we knew, the calm lasts about as long as a TikTok trend. Rooney makes her move. This isn't your average bar brawl. This is a ballet of brutal efficiency. She dispatches the first few guards with a stunning combination of grace and bone-crunching force. The crack of a security guard's jaw, the sickening thud of a body hitting the polished marble floor, these are the new sounds of her dance. She uses her environment leveraging decorative statues as makeshift projectiles, sliding under tables to avoid gunfire, and spinning with the lethal precision of a true ballerina assassin. The sounds of breaking glass and muffled grunts punctuate the elegant background music. Her movements are fluid, almost beautiful. Yet each strike carries the weight of years of repressed grief and focused vengeance. It's an exhibition of brutal elegance, proving that sometimes the best defense is a really good offense, especially when delivered with a perfectly executed pirouette. Having danced her way through the gala, Rooney corners one of the lower-level enforcers involved in her family's tragedy. This isn't a long, drawn-out torture scene. Thankfully, instead, it's a masterclass in silent, chilling intimidation. The room is dimly lit, the shadows dancing around the terrified man as Rooney pins him against a wall with a quiet ferocity that speaks volumes. The only sounds are his ragged breaths and the soft, almost imperceptible rustle of her movements. She doesn't need to shout or scream. Her eyes, filled with cold and wavering resolve, do all the talking. She extracts the information she needs: names, locations, a piece of the puzzle, with surgical precision, leaving him not physically broken, but utterly psychologically shattered. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest threats don't make a sound, they just are. The intel she gained leads her deep into the city's underbelly, specifically to a place that makes your local dive bar look like a Michelin-starred restaurant, a clandestine, neon-drenched fight club. This isn't where you go to watch people politely spar. This is where you go to watch teeth get knocked out for fun and profit. The air is thick with the smell of sweat, stale beer, and desperation. The metallic clang of a bell signals the start of another brutal round, accompanied by the visceral thud of fists meeting flesh and the roar of the bloodthirsty crowd.
One bullet. That bullet.
Hands up!
Come, Kikimara. You think like him.
Rooney moves through this chaotic environment, a stark contrast to her elegant persona. Her sense is heightened. She's looking for a particular face, someone who plays a more significant role in the network responsible for her family's demise. Every shadow hides a potential threat, and every face tells a story of hard knocks and bad decisions. It's like a very violent, very illegal, underground Yelp review section, and she's here to leave a permanent bad rating. Her target, it turns out, is the Fight Club's massive, tattooed owner. A man whose muscles have muscles. He's a brute, pure strength and zero finesse, which, let's be honest, is usually a death sentence against anyone from the John Wick universe. The arena match they engage in is less a fight and more a strategic dismantling. The roar of the crowd intensifies as Rooney, dwarfed by his sheer size, moves like a whisper, dodging his thunderous swings with impossible agility. The whoosh of his missed punches cuts through the air, followed by the sharp crack of her kicks. Connecting with bone and sinew, she uses his own momentum against him, turning his brute force into his greatest weakness. The sounds of grunts and strained breathing fill the air. It's a beautifully choreographed sequence, showcasing her ability to turn a disadvantage into a devastating advantage, proving that brains and belay moves can absolutely conquer brawn, even when brawn looks like it could lift a small car. Victory is short-lived, as the Fight Club's disgruntled, now ownerless denizens decide Rooney needs to be dealt with. She finds herself in a desperate chase through a labyrinthine network of grimy back alleys. The ground is slick with grime, and the air is thick with the scent of stale garbage and desperation. The metallic clatter of trash cans being knocked over, the frantic thud of her boots on uneven pavement, and the enraged shouts of her pursuers create a symphony of frantic escape. She scrambles over fences, slides under pipes, and navigates the urban maze with an almost feline agility. When corners are turned, she's forced into brutal, close-quarters encounters. delivering swift, debilitating strikes that echo with satisfying thuds. It's a relentless, heart-pounding sequence where survival depends on instinct and the fluid application of her lethal skills, showing that even in the dirtiest parts of the city, elegance can still be found, especially when it's kicking someone in the face. After the adrenaline dump of the early escape, Rooney finally reaches a hidden safe house. It's not luxurious, in fact, it's pretty Spartan, a concrete bunker masquerading as an apartment, but it's secure. The air is quiet save for the ragged sound of her own breathing and the soft rustle of bandages. She tends to her wounds with a practiced, almost detached efficiency. The sting of antiseptic, a stark reminder of the brutal life she now leads. The scene is quiet, contemplative, a stark contrast to the earlier chaos. We see her exhausted, but not defeated. The flicker of the old Rooney, the innocent girl, is barely visible beneath the hardened exterior. It's a moment of necessary pause, a chance to patch up not just physical wounds but to mentally steel herself for the escalating dangers that lie ahead. She knows this path only gets ROCKA. Her next target is a major player, operating out of a sprawling, heavily fortified industrial complex. This isn't a Gala or a back alley, this is a fortress. We see Rooney, clad in tactical gear, moving through the moonlit shadows of the complex. The almost imperceptible hum of generators, the distant clang of machinery, and the hushed whispers of patrolling guards create a tense, ambient soundtrack. She expertly navigates a maze of laser grids, the red beams cutting through the darkness. Her movements precise, fluid, almost inhuman. The soft thud of a silenced pistol eliminating an unsuspecting guard. The whisper of her boots on metal grating. Everything is calculated. She's aiming for a central control room, a nerve center, which likely holds more answers. It's a thrilling, stealth-heavy sequence that really highlights her professional acumen, because sometimes you just gotta break into a corporate building and negotiate with the hands. Rooney uses the environment to her advantage, sending computer towers crashing down, turning keyboards into projectiles, and even using a loose cable as a makeshift whip. The sharp crack of breaking plastic and glass, the hum of electricity, and the villain's frustrated grunts punctuate their struggle. It's a dynamic, almost improvisational fight, proving that even against a villain who probably codes in his sleep, a ballerina with a vendetta can turn any office space into a deadly dance floor. Plus, who knew a monitor could be such an effective blunt instrument? With the tech villain subdued and the data acquired, Rooney makes a tactical retreat, but not before planting a little surprise. As she exits the complex, a series of precisely timed explosions rip through the structure, turning the entire industrial park into a spectacular inferno. The ground shakes with the concussive force, and the night sky is painted orange by the massive fireball. The roar of the explosion is deafening, followed by the satisfying sound of metal groaning and collapsing. She watches the fiery aftermath from a safe distance, the orange glow illuminating her determined face. It's not just about taking out a target, it's about erasing their operations, disrupting their network, and sending a very clear, very loud message. Consider that an anonymous one-star review on their entire criminal enterprise, delivered with extreme prejudice and a lot of boom. The destruction of the complex sends ripples through the criminal underworld, attracting unwanted attention, but also useful connections. Rooney sets up a clandestine meeting with a mysterious informant in a surprisingly swanky, but dimly lit, restaurant. The soft clink of silverware and the low murmur of conversation try to create an illusion of normalcy, but the air is thick with unspoken tension. Every glance, every gesture, every whispered word is coded. Rooney subtly slides a small data chip across the table, receiving vital information in return. This isn't just about muscle. It's about intelligence, about piecing together the larger conspiracy. The informant, a figure cloaked in shadows and secrecy, gives her the name of the true puppet master behind her family's murder.
Hallway.
It's a quiet scene, but then spoken threats and potential betrayals hanging in the air are louder than any explosion. It's like a high-stakes business meeting, but instead of spreadsheets, they're exchanging literal lives. Back in her sanctuary, Rooney seeks solace not just in rest, but in her art. We see her dancing, but it's different now. The ballet is still there, the grace, the fluidity, but it's infused with something darker, something more dangerous. Each pirouette flows into a powerful kick. Each plie transitions into a defensive stance. The soft thud of her bare feet on the wooden floor, the whisper of air as she spins, they are the only sounds. It's a cathartic release, a way to channel her rage and grief into something beautiful, yet deadly. This scene beautifully illustrates how her two worlds have merged. How the art of ballet has become the foundation for her brutal efficiency. It's a poignant reminder that even amidst the chaos, she's still a dancer. Just one who can now effortlessly transition from Swan Lake to taking out a small army. Like, who needs a gym membership when you have vengeance? Armed with the new intel, Rooney doesn't wait. She spots a convoy of black SUVs, clearly ferrying the main antagonist's top enforcers, and decides it's time for a little road trip. A very, very explosive road trip. What follows is a blistering, high-octane car chase through the impossibly crowded city streets. The screech of tires, the deafening roar of engines, and the sickening crunch of metal as vehicles collide create a chaotic symphony of destruction. Rooney weaves through traffic like a phantom, her car a blur of precision and aggression. Cars are overturned, lampposts are decimated.
TTI custom. This will take a bear's head off.
And the sound of distant explosions mixes with the sharp cracks of gunfire. It's a relentless, heart-stopping sequence that showcases her incredible driving skills as she systematically dismantles the convoy, one crumpled vehicle at a time. This isn't just a chase, it's a mobile demolition derby, and Rooney's got the gold medal in mind. The car chase culminates in a derelict warehouse, a vast, echoing space filled with precariously stacked crates, swinging chains, and rusting machinery. Here, Rooney corners one of the main antagonist's most trusted lieutenants. This isn't a straightforward slugfest. It's an acrobatic, high-stakes battle where the environment itself becomes a weapon, the metallic clang of pipes being used as makeshift bludgeons, the creak of collapsing platforms, and the distant echo of their grunts fill the cavernous space. Rooney leaps, swings, and slides, using the unstable structures to gain an advantage, turning the warehouse into a deadly playground. Every impact, every collision with metal or wood, resonates with a satisfying thud. It's a fight choreographed with deadly precision, each movement designed to inflict maximum damage while showcasing her incredible agility and strategic thinking. Seriously, it's like Cirque du Soleil.
Somebody to the restaurant.
But with more broken bones. Her increasingly high-profile rampage doesn't go unnoticed by the shadowy architects of the John Wick universe. Rooney finds herself summoned, or perhaps just noticed, by a representative of the Continental, perhaps Winston himself or the ever-charming Karen. The meeting is brief, cryptic, and laden with unspoken warnings. The clink of ice in a glass, the low hum of the bar's ambient music, and the polished click of a gold coin being placed on the table are the only sounds. She's reminded, subtly but firmly, of the rules of the underworld, the delicate balance of power she's disrupting. It's a classic don't go too far lecture, delivered with the kind of understated menace that only the Continental can pull off. It's a fascinating glimpse back into the larger Wick mythology, reminding her that even a force of nature like her operates within a much, much bigger, and infinitely more dangerous bond. And you know, they're right. Breaking all the rules usually means you end up cleaning up a lot of messes. The warnings from the Continental don't deter her. If anything, they harden her resolve. The next scene is a quiet but intensely focused montage of Rooney preparing for the final confrontation. Her safe house becomes a silent armory. The metallic click of a bolt locking into place, the soft wipe of a cloth cleaning a barrel, the precise snap of a magazine being loaded. These sounds fill the air. She meticulously lays out an impressive array of firearms, blades, and even some rather unconventional tools of destruction. Her face is a mask of grim determination, every movement deliberate and precise. It's a ritual, a silent promise to herself that this ends now. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about closing a chapter, about finding a twisted form of peace. And when you see someone lovingly clean a shotgun like that, you know someone's about to have a very, very bad day. The moment arrives. Rooney launches her final, no-holds-barred assault on the main antagonist's sprawling, highly fortified mansion. This isn't a stealth mission, it's a declaration of war. The opening shot is spectacular. A breaching charge detonates on the massive front gate with a deafening crump, sending splinters of wood and metal flying. The roar of explosions, the rapid-fire crackle of automatic weapons, and the desperate shouts of guards fill the night. She moves like a whirlwind, a blur of motion and lethal efficiency. Guards, even those heavily armed, are dispatched with brutal speed and precision, their bodies thudding to the ground like sacks of potatoes. It's a relentless, high-octane entry, setting the tone for the absolute mayhem that's about to unfold within those walls. Someone clearly didn't get the memo about do not disturb signs. Inside the mansion, the opulence quickly gives way to a labyrinth of hidden traps and elite bodyguards. This isn't just a home. It's a deadly puzzle box. The elegant tapestries hide laser grids, the antique furniture conceals automated turrets, and every corner holds a highly trained killer. Rooney navigates this deadly gauntlet with a chilling calm, her awareness almost supernatural. The soft click of a disarmed pressure plate, the sharp whoosh of a kunai missing her by inches, and the metallic clatter of an elite bodyguard's weapon hitting the floor all contribute to the symphony of her deadly dance. Each encounter is a miniature masterpiece of combat, showcasing her ability to adapt to any threat, turning the mansion's defenses against its owners. She's not just breaking in, she's systematically deconstructing their entire security philosophy, one broken bone at a time. Finally, after a literal mountain of bodies and a lot of shattered porcelain, Rooney comes face to face with the architect of her suffering, the main antagonist, in a ridiculously ornate study. This isn't just a fight, it's the culmination of years of suppressed fury, a deeply personal reckoning. The air crackles with unspoken hatred, the only sounds the heavy breaths of the two combatants. Their initial exchange is less about fancy moves and more about raw, visceral impact. The crunch of a punch landing, the guttural scream of pain, the scrape of furniture being violently displaced, every sound is charged with emotion. It's a brutal, close-quarters slugfest. A desperate dance where every strike carries the weight of a lifetime of grief and a burning desire for retribution. You can almost feel the heat of their animosity radiating from the screen.
Just leave.
This is where the training meets the tragedy, and someone's about to pay the ultimate price. The fight spills out of the study and escalates into a mansion-wide, destructive rampage. This isn't just a two-person brawl, it's two unstoppable forces. Colliding, they crash through walls, shatter priceless artifacts, and leave a trail of utter devastation in their wake. The metallic clang of weapons meeting, the splintering sound of ornate wooden banisters, and the distant roar of flames from the earlier explosions create a terrifying backdrop. Each blow is delivered with a savage intent, each block a testament to their respective wills. Rooney's balletic grace is twisted into a lethal, unpredictable form, while the antagonist reveals a surprising, brutal resilience. It's an extended, visceral ballet of destruction, punctuated by bone-jarring impacts and guttural cries. By the end, the mansion is less a stately home and more a war zone, a testament to the ferocity of their final, desperate conflict. Out in a final, brutal exchange of blows, Rooney delivers the decisive strike. The impact is raw, visceral, echoing with the finality of years of anticipation. The antagonist falls, defeated, perhaps not with a dramatic monologue, but with a guttural gasp, leaving behind only the profound silence that follows intense violence. Rooney stands over them, utterly spent, her body screaming with pain, but her eyes holding a flicker of grim satisfaction. The burning mansion behind her casts a hellish glow on her exhausted face. The sounds of the collapsing structure and the distant sirens are the only things breaking the quiet. It's a victory, yes, but not a celebratory one. It's the end of a long, bloody road, a moment where revenge is finally achieved, but at what cost? The silence isn't peaceful, it's heavy, filled with the ghosts of her past and the echoes of her violent journey. What now? Ballerina, as the flames consume the mansion, erasing the last physical vestiges of her tormentors, Rooney walks away. She doesn't look back. There's no triumphant fanfare. No Hollywood ending where everything suddenly becomes rainbows and butterflies. The sounds of distant sirens, growing louder, suggest the world is catching up. But she moves with a quiet and wavering resolve. Her silhouette against the orange glow of the burning building is iconic. A symbol of a life irrevocably changed by loss and forged by vengeance. Her future is uncertain, but she carries with her not just the scars of battle, but a newfound, if dark, sense of purpose. The question lingers, what does a ballerina assassin do after she's danced her last revenge-fueled jig? The silence that accompanies her departure hints at the endless possibilities, and perhaps, the lingering weight of her choices. The final moments of Ballerina find Rooney in an undisclosed location, perhaps another one of the Continentals, many safe havens, or a new training facility designed for assassins seeking a different kind of purpose. The metallic clang of weights, the rhythmic thud of a punching bag, the almost musical whisper of her breathing during intense exercise fill the air. She's no longer just reacting, she's preparing, refining, building something new. This isn't the furious, desperate training of her youth, nor the single-minded focus of her revenge. There's a quiet determination, a newfound discipline. The ending suggests a world beyond vengeance, a path forward, perhaps as an enforcer of balance, or simply a woman finding her new place in a world that she has irrevocably changed. It's a thoughtful conclusion, leaving us to ponder her next dance, whatever form it may take. And finally, we're left with an utterly poignant and powerful image. Rooney alone takes center stage in what appears to be a desolate, perhaps abandoned, theater. A single spotlight illuminates her, highlighting every elegant, yet powerful movement. The only sound is the soft scuff of her pointe shoes against the floor, and the almost imperceptible whoosh of air as she spins. This is a ballet, but it's infused with every punch, every kick, every shot she's fired. It's a dance of catharsis, a silent narrative of her journey. It embodies the grace of her past, the brutality of her present, and the fragile hope for her future. It's a powerful statement that even after traversing the darkest valleys of vengeance, one can find a way to repurpose their pain, to create beauty from ashes, and to stand tall and broken, ready for whatever the next act brings. It's a reminder that strength isn't just about fighting, but about enduring, adapting, and finding a new rhythm in life's relentless dance. What an experience! This film wasn't just a brutal action flick, it was a deeply personal journey of transformation, proving that even a ballerina can kick serious butt and still find her true self amidst the chaos. It leaves you thinking about how we all transform, how we carry our scars, and how, sometimes, the quiet aftermath is the loudest part of all. Thanks for sticking around for this deep dive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
John Snow, this is the Eye.